Hello, Pokemon trainers! It's me, Megan, once again, trying to make up for the fact that I haven't made a video in God knows how long, but I don't care. I'm making a video because I had a bad day at work. And I need to pick me up. So I wanted to do a Pokemon factual statistic did you know thing. And I was at my place of employment, and there was a really old magazine of Pokemon, the Beckett Pokemon magazines, and I was like, ooh, I can use this for material. And so, there's actually a reason why I want to talk about this next following Pokemon. There's some sentimental value. I will give the explanation as to why in a minute, but first, the Pokemon we wish to talk about today. You see, the Pokemon in which we wish to talk about today is a spiky little pufferfish called Qwilfish. Qwilfish is a water poison type, if I am not mistaken. It is one of the least talked about Pokemon in the Pokemon world. There's some sentimental. We'll get there. Chill. So I can guess that some of you know what Qwilfish's animal counterpart is. And for those who wish for me to try and pronounce it, here is my attempt. Tetraodontidae. Pufferfish, also known in Japan as fugu. So, Qwilfish does have a part poison type, and that is because its animal counterpart, the pufferfish, or fugu, is actually very poisonous. If you cook this thing wrong, you will kill a human being in 24 hours, so you have to have a special license to cook a pufferfish. In fact, it has enough poison to kill several humans. Luckily, pufferfish don't actually like being social. They're very lonesome and tend to mind to themselves. Thank God. Did you also know that the Japanese word for Qwilfish is, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Harrison? I think that's right. And did you also know that its shiny sprite in the Game Boy games and in any other 3D game that it might be in is kind of this magenta color. It's this really rich magenta color. It's actually kind of neat. Even the males are pink, and it's pretty funny, actually, now that I think about it. Did you know that a small dish of fugu in Japan is approximately about 50 American dollars, and a 4-course meal is almost $200? And did you also know it almost takes 10 years to take the course it requires to get the license in order to make pufferfish meals and dishes? And in fact, out of everybody who participates in the test, it takes maybe about 30% of them to pass, and that includes tasting the very fish you prepared. Which means the test is very deadly since there's no cure for the poison. Good luck! I know there's no stats or anything revolving Qwilfish, and that's just because I'm way too lazy, but on to the more sentimental value. I remember when I first got Pokemon Gold. It was my first Pokemon game. I was ready to go. I've been playing Pokemon Gold for the longest time, and as of recently, I've actually had to put it up in the attic because I just don't have the time for it. One memorable thing about Pokemon Gold, however, is that my Pokedex was indeed complete. It was 250 Pokemon in the Pokedex. The only Pokemon I didn't have was Celebi, but the last Pokemon I caught in order to achieve the 250 Pokemon Pokedex was indeed a Qwilfish. Well, I went to relive this fantasy, and this is where the fantasy kind of itself. Unfortunately, for the love of all that is human, the battery in the cartridge died, and the game got erased. The option is now New Game. I spent approximately 240 to 260 hours on that game, and it all went to Why, game technology, did you do that? Why? So, thanks for my little 2-minute did you know for Qwilfish. Thanks for liking and subscribing and hanging on, even though I really don't update. Thank you for this little chat involving Pokemon. And thank you for hanging in there and talking about Qwilfish. For my personal opinion, I really don't find Qwilfish all awesome, really. It doesn't have any pre-evolved or evolved forms as far as memory serves, so don't worry about that. If you want a good water poison type, go with a Tentacool or a Tentacruel. They're usually a little bit better, from what I've been told. I usually don't find fans of using Tentacool or Tentacruel, so I usually find myself using, Totodile, for example. Wink, wink. So anyway, this is Megan for Poke Reviews. Trainers, keep catching them all, become Pokemon Masters. You're all in my eye, Masters of Pokemon, and I will see you all next time. Whenever the hell that'll be. Fish's animal counterpart may seem obvious, but the reason why it's part poison type, for those who don't know, is because the pufferfish is actually quite, oh god, my eyes! Cook a pufferfish, you have to have a special license. Mr. Mime! Wow.